Hi there, Chris. Thank you for taking the
Hi.
time to talk to me about your time as an ex-JP oarsman. And of course, your rowing career didn't stop there. So tell me, why rowing? What drew you to the sport in the first place?
Well, in Standard 4, which I don't know what grade that is these days, but my dad was Standard 4. I was in a choir, if you can believe it, traveling around the country. And we came back from a choir trip, and there was a rowing camp at Rudderplot Dam where my whole family were. My brother Charles was rowing there, and so that's where I ended up. And we had a father stroke coach. In those days, there was no real coaches, or there were no masters running the rowing club or anything. So a father stroke coach, Tino Venturi, which is very famous in the JP rowing of my day, gave me an option. He says, you want to row or you want to be an opera singer? So I had to choose the one that was, he was a bit of a threat. And that was it. I started rowing with his son, Gianni, and a couple of other guys in the under 14 crew. And then we went from there up into under 15s. So when we got to under 15s, we were unbeaten for the year. So it was a great thing. It just got a new Casper boat, which we were lucky to be able to use all the time. And the year after that was my first year in the first crew, where I stayed until my matric days. And it was the greatest time of my life. My whole family, my brother was in the first 8 when I first started rowing. So, I came with maybe, I don't know if we're going to call it, a bit of a reputation where I had to do well, but it was just magic. I loved it. I loved the camaraderie, the parents taking us out to Wemapan, pushing a broken bus to Wemapan, perhaps running to Wemapan. So, yeah, it was a really, really good time, and a great time to be an oarsman at JP Boys.
Shaped you for the future. So,
Yeah.
I suppose that leads to the next question. So, as a member of a JP crew, which ultimately led you to rowing at Henley, as I recall, how did this commitment impact on your adult life?
It definitely helped, and people have said it to me that sometimes it comes across that I'm arrogant or that, but it's not. It's more confidence. If you just replace the word arrogant with confidence, it made me a very confident person through my life. I was the best from under 15 right through to the first crew. After that, I rowed for Wemapan in their first 8, or their senior A8 was in those days. I rowed with Garth in a senior A pair, and we just carried on. So it's taken me through. I've luckily been in a number of industries, or I've always kind of been self-employed, and it definitely has given me, in Afrikaans they call it eithou vermoë. I can hang in there, and I think that's where the big benefit comes to. You get to 500 meters to go, and you don't know where you're going to get your next breath from, and you just got to hang in there. And I think it's taught me that in life as such. And Garth and I, we stayed in touch forever. I think we've been in touch for about 100 years. And we often speak about how it gave us just the ability to hang in there. Sometimes you hit rock bottom, it meant nothing. You just knew, I'll just come out on the other side. So yeah, it's made an impact definitely on my life. And if there's any advice I can give on any youngster starting rowing in Standard 4 or 5, I don't know how old they are when they start these days, when it gets rough and tough, doesn't really matter, because that's the bottom. You can just climb out from there.
Excellent advice. Thank you for that. So, Chris, you've been introduced to the JP Boats and Blades Initiative, and thank you for your contributions to that. What are your thoughts on the actual initiative itself, and how do you believe ex-JP oarsmen could get involved? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, right through my whole life at JP, we were fighting to have boats. When I got there, we had an old Sergeant and Burton, which was held together by Hope. So that was the 8 we had, and eventually it just rotted away. We never had one. That's why we were so strong in pairs, and which we borrowed, and in a 4, which was the Casper, which we looked after. So I think once this COVID's over and we can get together, and we really have to fight to get JP boats, because there's no doubt it should be the strongest rowing school in the country, just purely by the fight that the JP boy has in them. Unfortunately, we don't have that financial backing that the big boys do. You know, the St. Benedict's boys' parents scratch in their ashtray next to their bed and they come up with enough money to buy an 8. But yeah, Garth, definitely, myself, Saps, Carl Sapphire, who was in the first 4 of us in 78. We're definitely going to start fighting to get some kind of a deal together. We have to get an 8. We got to get JP an 8, and we just know it'll be the crew to beat. Already in everything else that they've done, they're just winners all the way. So the sad part is not having an 8 to smack the opposition in. We're going to make sure it happens. And I'm sure there are a lot of old boys who will just buckle down and do it. I've been watching the growth on the bow of that boat that's on the website, and it's coming in. I think people are finding everything a little bit tough now. We just got to get through this damn COVID thing. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be putting in a big leap and surge. And I know Goth's a fighter, the most amazing as you can imagine. And Saps has just come back into our little fold of friends. So yeah, we'll do it.
Excellent. That's brilliant news. And you thank you for following that, by the way. You'll find on the website, probably later today, there's been another update, and again another significant surge in the generous contributions of ex-oarsmen, which we're very excited about, and we're ecstatic at the kind of response we've had. You know, a lot of people out there have just said, you know, we've been waiting for the opportunity. It's now presented itself, and the way we've set up the trust itself, is we set up in a way that people have confidence in it, which is really, really important. So thank you for that. I guess the last question is, based on your time at JP and as a JP oarsman, is there one particular event that you remember with fondness and that you'd like to share with us?
It has to be rowing at Henley with the craziest guy in the world, Garth Lemkus. We were so privileged to be in that squad, and how we got into the squad, it's history. You know that we smacked the 4s everything. So people knew we were going to win the 4s all the time, but it was just whatever. And then we got into that pair, and I think it was like 1,500 meters. Or we were down. Anyway, I don't know where we were, but we were way down, 2.5 boat lengths. And I said to him, if we get the boys, which were like the boys in the old days used to hang on to the boys at the start. If I can get them to go under the rigger, we've got to give it a push from there. And it's 2 bar, plunk, plunk, there they went under our riggers. And I said, let's go. And yeah, we won that race. And that was the reason we got into the squad. It's just that we could come back so strong. So we were the pair all that went over the junior Tridents in 79. And we won at Henley in a thing called Spearman Pairs. It was the most incredible time we could have had. And I'm just lucky I shared it with good old great Garth, and we're still mates today. So that's it. And my whole rowing career is one fantastic memory and a luck. I really think I was hell of a lucky that Tino Venturi, bless his heart, forced me out of the choir and into a boat.
There we go. Excellent. Thank you so much for that. Chris, it's been amazing to hear from you, and thanks so much for that story, and just for spending this time speaking to us. For everybody else, just a reminder to check out our website. So that's www.jpboatsandblades.co.za. Probably a bit later today / tonight, you'll see the updated boat barometer, which is looking fantastic. And in the meantime, just encourage you all to keep calm, to keep pulling for gold, and look forward to speaking with other people over the weeks and months to come. Thank you very much. Take care.